He's Stonebraker and he does stuff, yeah. Feel the hum of the wheels out there. Not perfect, but he dares to dream. Hit that subscribe, make that bell scream.
Oh, look, an e-bike. Let's ride it. Do I remember how to do this? It's naturally just like riding a bike, but hey, what's up, YouTube? Stonebraker does stuff on a, hold on, I gotta go faster than that. On a Friday, October 10th, 2025, on the new bike, Revr V5 PRO Moped style. I feel like I'm the Fonz getting ready to jump something, just without his charisma and his talent. About 6 o'clock, so this time of year, it's weird to say it's about 6 o'clock because normally 6 o'clock is completely sunny. We're gonna have a lot of daylight left, but yeah, running out of that. Probably got like 3 weeks left of daylight beyond 5:30. So I'm gonna try to get as much content as we can. And I'm still gonna go a little faster here just because this road has a 30-mile-per-hour speed limit, and I was going like 2.5, so it's not very safe. But the video today, I wanted to kind of give you guys an update on one of my previous videos about my town banning electric bikes like this one right here that I'm on our city, beautiful 7-mile trail that I have ridden for hundreds and hundreds of miles, and not once have I seen any issues with it. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that a little bit. So, just to give you an update, Tuesday was the meeting, and I will be honest with you guys, I was only expecting maybe like 6 or 7 people to show up at the most. I'll get past these kids, let them do their kid thing. Hi. But I was pleasantly surprised when the whole building, the little office, the whole room was completely full. It's a pretty small room. I would say there's probably 40 chairs, and every single chair was taken up with people, and there was probably 15, 20 people maybe in the back just standing up. So I would probably estimate, with my mashed potato brain that I have, probably 55, 60 people, and not one of them was against e-bikes. So really happy with that. It made my old man heart grow 7 sizes. And I went to the meeting, and this sun is very bright. Let me go ahead and turn so I'm not blinded by the light. Because, you know, I'm on the Revr, I have no phone holder, I have no mirrors, so this is a stranger danger for me today. But we went to the meeting on Tuesday. Of course, they had other topics to talk about, but the main topic was definitely e-bikes. So, did anything change? No, nothing changed. But a lot of voices were heard, and I think the council, so basically what happened is the first thing that they talked about is the chief of police, who's my cousin, basically explained that they had issues and a lot of complaints about kids riding e-bikes on city streets. So that has been going on. That's been a known issue, which is completely different than on the trail. But that's been an issue for months, which I think right now is pretty much gone. I've not seen any kids driving crazy, and you know, I got video proof on my videos, but that kind of prompted it. And then I guess the city council, the mayor, and my cousin, chief of police, said that they were just getting a lot of complaints too about e-bikes being on the trail, saying people were about getting ran over. Kids and adults were driving at incredibly fast speeds, making our circle trail unsafe for the citizens. Again, I have hundreds of miles on that trail. And the only time I've ever seen any kids on it are typically when they're with their families and kids are on e-bikes and the parents are on bikes. Or parents are on e-bikes and the kids are on standard bikes. Sometimes you'll see a kid with his family and maybe he's rode ahead a little bit, but like I have never seen. Nice bike. But see, that dude stopped at that sign too. But yeah, I've never seen any issues at all. So I had this 7,000 page document that I typed up and I was gonna read off, but I don't like talking in front of that many people, even though I knew everyone. And I expected, as I said, there to be like 7 people, but there's absolutely no way that I was gonna have time to go over everything I wanted to go over. So 2 ordinances was made, one to ban e-bikes, one to ban class 3 e-bikes. Previous meetings without really any discussion, one council member just chimed in, hey, let's ban e-bikes. And then randomly, everybody agreed with it. So, oh, this is on YouTube, by the way. I would link it, but I don't know why you guys would want to watch a random video from a small town in Indiana you don't know about. But the chief of police kind of just explained this is what was going on. And then there was some discussions had, and it was basically like, raise your hand or just speak up. And a lot of the parents had concerns about their kids now being forced to ride in town, and which is much less safe than riding on a small trail. A lot of people said the same things I talked about, where they've been on the trail and they've not seen any issues with kids. They talked about how, you know, in the state of Indiana, a e-bike is considered a bicycle and it should have the same rights and privileges. You know, of course, the town came back with reading a document saying that's right, you know, unless local government makes decisions, which they did. I kind of chimed in that, you know, if they're getting all these complaints, you know, which the whole community that was there, the community could not verify it, because again, everyone that was there said they've never seen any issues on the trail. But my question is like, okay, how are these complaints? Are they in person? Are they calling the city? Are they writing a document? And no, it's just, you know, people in person, and it's people sending pictures to the cops and stuff. So it's unverified stuff. Not saying that it's not true, which I'm sure it is, but if there's going to be all these complaints, there needs to be proof of it. Otherwise, it's just hearsay. So I recommended something on the website, the city website, where they can go in and they can anonymously complain if they want to do it that way. You know, they could fill out a form or something, but I just think the fact that we're being told that they're getting numerous complaints and people are complaining, but yet there's no proof of that, that kind of upset everybody. There was a local youth pastor who was there, and he did a good job explaining it as well, just saying there's not much for kids to do. You know, a lot of kids will ride the back part of the trail here that you've seen me ride on, and they'll ride it from the park where I'm at to the football complex. And it's absolutely much safer, because the only other way they have to get there is to ride a street up here, which has no sidewalks. So, and can't even ride them on sidewalks anyways in Indiana. So the meeting went on and on. And then kind of at the end, like, someone shouted up like, okay, so, you know, you've asked us for the city's opinion on it and all this, you know, what's the council's opinion? And one of the council members was basically like, you know, I just wanted what I thought was best for the kids. I listened to the mayor, I listened to the cop, but after listening to you guys and, you know, knowing a little bit more, she's like, I don't know what to think. She said she was ready to kind of like, you know, revote or whatever. So, which is good. But then again, the one lady that was like hating e-bikes from the beginning, the one lady that specifically said they should be banned, she kind of chimed in, and you could tell she wasn't happy. And she had ideas like maybe let e-bikes ride certain times a day, maybe have a certain day of the week where e-bikes can ride, just absolutely stupid things, which wouldn't change anything. And then of course she says that, you know, she's only had one person call her, and ask about e-bikes, and everyone else was complaining to her, and only one person stood for it. So she's with the city council, so how is she going to know that the city and the townspeople want e-bikes if no one's telling her? Which, like, to me, that's what we're doing now. That's why we have the city meeting. She put her phone number out there and was like, if you guys have questions, call me. No one's called me and talked to me about it. Why would I do that? Why would we have to call the personal cell phone of a council member when we can just go to the meetings? So, but anyways, it went on for about an hour and a half. Again, a lot of people bringing up Indiana regulations, a lot of people upset that it's going to be more dangerous with their kids on the road. There's nothing to do in this town, and no one's ever had any issues on the trail on e-bikes. So at the end of it, when they asked the people what they thought of it, the one lady kind of sounded like she wanted to backtrack. One of the guys on it was like, he kind of brought it up too, and he said, after thinking about it and everything, I don't see why we couldn't allow, non-class 3 e-bikes. So I don't know the rules of city government and stuff, but a couple people in the crowd was talking about, okay, you've got a motion, council member seconded it, so they wanted them to do a vote on it right there. But I guess there's some rules that say they have to go like one meeting before they can vote on stuff after something's brought up. So I don't know, but to make a extremely long story short, this Tuesday they are going to have a second meeting where they're going to vote on it. So nothing's changed as of now. Technically, still not allowed on the trail. This is the facility right here. We're going to ride by it. This is the little building where the meeting was held. Will I attend it? Maybe. I don't think there'll be quite as few people there, but I also don't think there's really a whole lot to kind of talk about anymore. Everybody kind of got to vent and got to talk about their experiences. So hopefully, when they vote this, hopefully it passes. Now, I will say I have been 100% off of the trails. I have not gone on the trails. I want to ride the trails. This is a great time of year. The leaves are falling, as you can see. We're losing daylight, so I want to make sure that all my rides I enjoy, and I can't really do that. I do have a feeling, though, from some of the conversations during the meeting that, some of the cops, they basically said that they're not going to be openly riding on the trail on their police vehicles. So, they're really not going to be openly going after people on it. So there was also documentation saying that you get a $250 fine, plus you can get your e-bike confiscated. And they did clarify that, where it's not like, hey, they're just going to confiscate your e-bike, but situations like if someone's drunk on an e-bike or something like that, they may do it. So that was nice to hear. But overall, it was nice to get out there and to actually be able to talk a little bit about, hey, this is coming from someone that has ridden, like I said, hundreds of miles. I've got 100 and some videos on the channel, and I would probably say, besides that elevator being really loud, but I would probably say that 80% of my videos are including the trail in some way or another. So we will see how it goes. I should have an update. I'll probably, weather's supposed to be pretty nice next week. It's a little chilly today. It's in the high 60s. So, we're getting to the part of the year where it's getting cold. The videos are going to slow down, but I'm going to try to get as many out as I can, especially on the Revr. So you may see some shorts on this bike. Revr did send me this bike, as I talked about in the previous video, and hopefully you guys like that video. It was kind of shot weird because I wanted to do part of it on a trail. I wanted to do part of it on, off-road. And I wanted to do part of it just through town. And I kind of recorded them out of order. So I definitely repeated myself in some of it. But, I had fun doing that. It was a longer video. Got to let my sister and my niece ride it, and she liked it. And as I said in the video, 100%, that was the true story. It's a nice little bike. Now, squirrel, don't get hit, buddy. Come on, don't do it. I don't want to see a dead squirrel on my channel. There you go. Good job. Thank you. Thank you for living. But as I did say on the channel like 17 times, you know, this is not my style bike, but you really do. You start riding it, and, you know, if you get a nice little spot in the seat, it's pretty comfy. Am I going to keep it? I don't know. I'll probably try to get quite a few videos of it over the next few days. I'm probably not going to keep it just because, again, it's not my style. Even though I love riding it and I have no issues with it, it's rides good, it shifts good, the throttle works good, pedal is good, it's got a lot of torque. I like the screen, as I talked about. So yeah, it's a really good bike, and I think it'll probably not be around too much longer. Speaking of not being around too much longer, I did sell the Apis. So the M1 Pro Apis, the out-of-box death machine that I turned into something pretty reliable. I did have a guy come and buy it, and my luck when it comes to e-bikes. So he came, traveled probably about 2 hours, actually. The dude drove about 2 hours to get it. And when he got here, you know, I had him take the bike out. He came with a buddy, so I took out the mock wheel. He got on the Apis, and his buddy rode this bike, and his buddy actually wants to buy this bike. So we took him out and kind of just showed him how the bike worked, and he caught on pretty quick, so good deal. And then when I went to take the battery out and everything, pass this lady real quick. Hi. So I went to take the battery out and grab the charger and everything, and I noticed inside of the battery, and I think I'll put a picture right here. So that little part inside of the battery was completely missing. So now I feel terrible. This dude had loaded the bike up. He was getting ready to pay me, and now like the battery's not working. So I'm like, let me contact Apis. So this bike is kind of loud sometimes when the motor starts. It's that Bafang motor. It's pretty loud. So I sent an email to Apis, and luckily the battery was still under warranty. So I sent them just a few pictures of it and the serial number on my bike and everything. And to their credit, they a day later had a tracking number for a new battery. So I contacted the dude, and I was like, hey, I feel bad you drove all this way. How about you take the bike with you and you give me half now? We'll be in communication. I will send an email to get a battery under warranty. It'll probably take about a week, which, ooh, that is loud. Ooh, I like it. But it'll probably take a week. Are you okay with that? Because I would hate to just keep the bike and you drove all this way and then have you come back in a week and a half or whatever in a week. So he was okay with that. So he gave me half. He took the bike, and the battery is scheduled to be here Tuesday. We've been in communication. So Tuesday or Wednesday of this week, I'll probably meet him halfway, because I still feel bad that he drove all this way and that happened. But that's my kind of luck, you know. You go to sell an e-bike and like something small like that, like who would that happen to? But you know, things happen, I guess, and it'll all work out. So the Apis is gone, and then we'll have to see what happens with this one. But yeah, so expect a few videos over the next couple days on this bike. Expect some shorts, things like that. I'm gonna say one more time, if you are looking for this style of bike, $800, you're getting a good screen, and it's a nice bike. I was really surprised by it. So, all right, guys, we're going to end this video. I just wanted to give you an update on the city council meeting. You know, they heard it. Some of them, I think, definitely regretted their decision. They're going to have another meeting this Tuesday where they're going to vote on it. And, yeah, we'll see what happens. But be on the lookout for some videos this weekend, and I will see you in the next one.